Okay, welcome to the last video in this video series. In this video, I'm going to transfer all of my code to a Mac computer, and then I'm going to show you how to publish that code to the iOS App Store. So in order to get your code to a Mac computer, if it's not already on a Mac computer, is you need to commit your code to your GitHub repository. So it looks like there's one file here that I haven't quite committed. I think this file was probably generated from a build process I did. I'll just call it updates and commit and then push. All right. All right. Now it says no local changes, which means that everything on this local computer is synced up with what's on the repository. So now I'm going to head over to my Mac computer and I'll show you what to do next.
All right, I am now on my Mac computer and I've got GitHub desktop installed, but I don't have it connected to my repository yet. So in order to connect it to my repository, I've got to clone the repository to this computer. So to do that, I press File, Clone Repository. Then I got to find that. It's called My App 2. A lot of repositories here. Okay, clone it. Cool. All right, so I've got it cloned here, but where is that actually located? GitHub desktop, unless you specify otherwise, saves things to your documents folder, GitHub folder, and there you can see it. It's there. Let's take a look at what copied. You'll notice that the Android folder did copy. Obviously, my source files, the things I coded, copied. This also has basically some source files in it. But what didn't copy is all of those node packages, those hundreds of node modules. And that's good because if we were having to upload and download all of those node modules all the time, it would really slow us down. However, we still need those node modules now. So how do we get those node modules? I'm going to open up my Visual Studio Code, just like I was doing on my PC. All right, and then I'm going to open a new folder and I'm going to go to that where that repository was cloned. I'm going to open it. And now I've got this project on my Mac. See, it's all right there. You can see there are a number of error. It's giving me a number of error messages. That again is related to the fact that there are no node modules installed. So like if I hover my mouse over this, it says cannot find module React or its corresponding type declaration. So I need to install that. And the beautiful thing about Node is it makes it pretty easy to get all those modules back. It's going to basically, it knows what modules to install because of these files, package.json, packagelock.json. This tells it what needs to be installed. How do I install all of this stuff? I just type in np. I make sure I'm in my folder, which I automatically am, and npm install. Okay, it took a second to appear, but you can see now there's a folder here called node modules. And I am no longer getting those error messages here. Let's make sure at least the web version still works by doing an Ionic Serve. Okay, it's not automatically opening. Oh, there it goes. It is opening it automatically, I think. Yep, okay. Great, it's working. Okay, now that everything is moved over to my Mac, let's take a look at the Ionic docs. Deployment, iOS App Store. All right, what does it need? What do we need? We need Xcode. It's very important. Now let's take a minute just to make sure that we can view our app in Xcode, because I never actually showed you that. So, and that's something that you probably want to do a lot of times before you actually are ready to deploy. I'm going to go to this under developing. I'm going to go to developing for iOS. Now, if you were actually developing for iOS this whole time, this wouldn't be the first time that you would look at this. You are going to need an Apple developer account. An Apple developer account, or really just an Apple account to just look at your the basic version of your app. You don't need a paid Apple developer account. You can just have a non-paid Apple developer account. But once it's time to actually deploy to the App Store, you are going to have to you are going to need a paid account. I want to look at my app in Xcode before I deploy it. So I'm going to go here to running with Xcode. And you can see there are some commands here that are similar to the commands we were running for Android. There's an Ionic capacitor copy iOS. Now, if I were to try to run that right now, okay, so they're telling me that I need to first add iOS. The command for that is Ionic cap add iOS. Oh, okay. Now it's telling me that I first have to run the build process because I never ran that yet on this computer. So that's Ionic build. All right, once that build folder is created, you can run Ionic cap add iOS. And that will create, just like we have an Android folder, it's going to create an iOS folder. Okay, now I've got my iOS folder. Now, just like I ran the Android folder in Android Studio, I need to run this folder in Xcode. To do that, it's telling me right here, npx cap open iOS. So npx cap open iOS, and that is going to open it in Xcode. All right, now let's run it in a simulator. So to run it in a simulator, we need to choose one from here. I will choose, I guess I'll choose this iPhone 11 and press play. And there it is. Now I'm going to show you how to actually deploy this thing. All right, once you have a paid Apple developer account, which you can get from developer.apple.com, and enrolling in it and paying $99, go to Xcode, click on app, click on this folder over here, and signing in capabilities, and make sure that you choose your developer account name here. And also, I just realized that I never actually gave a unique bundle identifier. Right now, mine is just called Ionic Starter. Okay, I just want to make sure I want to make sure I get this right. So the app ID is important because the app ID is going to be what is used to identify your app on the iOS store and on the Google Play Store. So anytime you see an app ID, a place to enter an app ID, make sure that you are always entering the same thing. So here I'm under my iOS folder, and I found a capacitor.config.json file. I'm making sure that I have a unique app ID there. I'm also making sure in my root folder here that this capacitor.config.json file has that app ID. In Xcode, I'm making sure that under app general, I have the app ID, and under signing in capabilities, I have the app ID. Also, under signing in capabilities, I'm going to choose my Apple developer account. Okay, once I'm in my developer account, okay, I first need to go to the certificates, IDs, and profiles. I need to click on identifiers. and I need to press this plus sign to create a new app ID. So app ID, press continue. It's an app, continue. And here you can give it a name. And here, once again, you enter in your actual, you enter in your app ID. So it was Zach to-do list. All right, if you're using any special capabilities, you would check them here. We're not, so I would just press continue. And then I would press register. I have my Zach to-do list identifier. All right, now I'm going to go to this other place, App Connect Store. My apps. Okay, you can see I already have an app there, but if I were to creating a new app, I would go here, new app. I would give it a name. Okay, so once you fill that out, you'll get to a page like this. And this is where you're going to submit all the information about your app. The one thing that you're going to need from your code base or from Xcode, you need to choose your app. Hold on, make sure you choose your app. Products. Okay, you're going to need to choose this, I think. Build any iOS device, then choose product archive. And now it's converting. I was getting a bug because I had only signed the debug version of under signing in capabilities. I didn't sign the release version. So I've done that now. I put my I selected my paid Apple account there, and then I did product archive, and it's archiving right now. Great. And once it's archived, you can press distribute app and go through the process to make sure that it appears here. So basically, when you distribute it in Xcode, in a few minutes, later, maybe like 5 minutes later, it will appear here. So then you can fill out all of this, and then you can submit it to review. And if Apple approves it, then you have an app on the App Store. And that is it. So good luck with all of that. It's always tricky the first time you go through all these steps, but if you stick with it and research any bugs or other problems that you have, I can't anticipate every problem that you'll have, but I think that this video series I hope that this video series has given you enough to work with. So good luck in all of your coding endeavors, and thank you for watching. Bye.